Okay, g'day guys. So today we're going to be talking about the belt squat. In particular, we're going to be talking about doing a prisoner squat using the belt squat. So first things first, what is a prisoner squat? Well, a prisoner squat is placing your hands above your head like so and squatting down nice and low. Now, the reason why we want to do a prisoner squat using a belt squat is so it takes away our subconscious use of our hands, and we'll talk about this in just a moment. So let's talk about the squat firstly. We're going to execute the bottom half of what we need to do with this squat. So first things first, remember the art of the squat is the ability to take your torso and put it between your feet. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that we shore up our ankles, followed up by our knees, and then our hip joints, stability. So number one, open your feet up wide enough so that you have that are just past your shoulder width, and allow your body to travel in between your feet. Number two, we're going to create 3 points of contact. Point 1, point 2, and then your heel is point 3. So up on your toes is point 1 and 2, rocking back onto your heels, that's point 3. You're going to screw your feet in so that it feels as if all the weight is traveling from point 2, which is in line with your pinky, all the way down to point 3, and you're going to lock and make sure that point 1 is cemented onto the ground. So you're going to screw your feet out. Now you can see that when I screw my feet out, my knees flare out and I get nice tall shins. Something to think about, especially if you use things like mirrors, is look at your shins and think of them as a building, and if the building is on the piss or looking like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, then you would decommission that building and you'd shut it down and you wouldn't go ahead, or you wouldn't walk up that building, unless probably it is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So when you're looking ahead into the mirror, make sure that you're looking for nice tall shins. That's what we're after. Number two, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the hip hinge, so they put their hips back. We want to break at the hips, so we want to flare the knees out. So that's point number two, is that we want to screw our feet in and push our knees out. Number three, we're going to break at the hips. So knees go out, break at the hips, up and down. And that's how we execute the bottom half of the squat. So how do we then use what we know with that information and place it into the belt squat? Well, first things first, the belt squat, how we use this is we place our feet inside the belt, keep it nice and tight together, squat down nice and low, and up you come. Now this is back to my original point before, in that we don't want to hold the handle, because this handle is going to lock us in, lock us out. We're going to pull it towards ourselves. Now we're free to go up and down. Now if I keep my hands here and go up and down, now what I can do is that at this bottom part of the squat, after I've screwed my feet in, pushed my knees out, break at the hips, okay, the bottom part, I can actually push up. So I'm actually holding this with my hands and pushing up. So the reason why I instruct my crew or my team to do prisoner squats is that by placing your hands above your head like so, firstly you keep a nice tall torso, but secondly you can't touch the bar. So all of a sudden this squat pattern becomes a lot harder, and your knees come out, you drive right up, and you're going to feel the load a great deal more. Probably should have warmed up for this really. You're going to feel the load a great deal more through your legs and driving up. And that there, team, is how you want to go about making sure that you do a prisoner squat on the belt squat.